Welcome back. So when you do software, you always have a plan until you find something else that's better, right? So we made this plan and I'm going to try and follow that plan now. So it means that we're going to have a new collection completely called files. Now I might as well just start thinking into a files module and a file service, since I already went down this road now where I want something called files. So let's this lesson actually create those inside our system. So what I want to do is kind of make a new, just like we have products, I want to make a new module called files. So let's start there. ng generate module file. That's going to be my new module right here. Let's actually call it files. There we go. So now we have the files module. Perfect stuff. And inside the files module, what I kind of want is the same setup like in my products. I want to have a service for the files. So I'm jumping into this module right here, and what I want to do is ng generate service, right? And that service is going to be called files/shared, because that's the folder I want to share, save my services in, and then call it file in the end to kind of get a file service like that. Perfect. Now the final thing I want to do right now is also for the files, I also want to add again in the shared, I want to add a model so I can start modeling the files just like we see on Firebase, right? A file looks like this. It seemed it had some metadata that I needed, so let's just add that in there as well. Now I want an ID inside my file as well for further reference later on, right? So what I'll do is I'll generate a model. ng generate a model, and I want to just call it files shared and file. Let's see what happens. Do you notice the name is the same, right? File, but it's called model here, so let's see if it can figure it out for me. Tries to generate something. Oh, it breaks. Oh no, it didn't work. Oh my god, what did I do wrong? Let's try and figure it out. So I'm going to jump into Angle.io, and it seems my problem was I can't remember the name for the actual CLI. So I can't remember how I want to create a new file using the CLI. So let's try and go into the CLI commands right here. ng add, ng generate, that's what I want to use. And I want to generate for file, what do we call that? Generate model. It's not there. There's no way to generate a model. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Module, got, component, directive, class. There's a way to generate a class. Well, let's just do that then. That's fine. So I guess that's what I'll do instead. ng generate class, it makes sense. It's a better name than what I just used. Maybe I can do it with an interface. Let's try that. ng generate interface. There we go. It generates the interface under shared called file ts. So there we go. That's actually what I was looking for. Sweet. So the final thing I want right here is kind of to give it a couple of properties. And it seemed we had a name that was a string. It seemed that we had an ID. And I want to make the ID optional, right? And that's going to be a string as well. There we go. And then it seems we added some kind of type. Going to be for now also just a string. Now the type might end up being some kind of enum, or it might end up being another file itself or another interface itself to call type, so we don't have to just write strings, but that's for later videos. And the final one will be just to have it, I'll add a size for now, and that'll be a number. And why not also add some kind of change date or something like that. Let's just put that in there as well, just to get a date into our setup right here. There we go. So now we have a file right here. Now I'm going to keep this as optional for now. And I think it's called last changed normally. Let's actually put in that name instead. There we go. So now we kind of have a file available. We have a service available later on for usage with the file. We have a module available so we can start actually uploading and changing and saving information about the file. And we're pretty much good to go with a new file that kind of maps up to the idea that I had on Firebase, right? And we also kind of looked into quickly how we can actually generate this using the interface generation. And now we are actually next lesson ready to continue. So let's just end it right here with the new file module. If you want to, we could actually dive into our products module where we're going to use this file module. And let's just add it in here and say file module. That's the one I just built. So we're going to actually start using that later on. That's it for this lesson. See you next time. Have fun.